Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. As I've been doing for the last couple months, I've been releasing small videos about the home buying process or the selling process of a property. Now, last week we talked about appraisals, and the previous week we did a video about inspections, which are two of the main steps in the home buying process. Now, today I want to talk about the questions any professional real estate agent should ask you before jumping on the cars and start showing your properties whenever you're looking to purchase one. Why? Because asking these questions and going this deep will save a ton of time, energy, and effort and money whenever you're ready to purchase one. If your agent is not asking you these questions before showing you properties, be careful putting doubt their professionalism. Why? Because buying a house is not like buying a cell phone. It's not like buying an object. Buying a house, it's a long-time investment for you and your family. The average American switch properties every 7 years. So I'm sure that you want to know all the details on what exactly you're looking for, right? What's important for you. I have a list of 23 questions that I usually ask any potential buyer that comes to my door looking to purchase a property. And I want to go through them and explain why I ask these questions to any prospect buyer. So you get an idea if in the event that you get to work with me in the future, I hope so, you get to know why I ask these questions and why I take my time. The first thing is that I do not take any buyer under any circumstances out to look at properties before properly doing what it's called, or what I call, a buyer's consultation. Buyer's consultation is basically a meeting where I meet with the buyer either in person or virtually, whatever it's convenience for them, and I go over these questions. My plan with that is to get to know each other, get to know what exactly you're looking for, so while you're working and doing your thing, I'm looking that thing for you. I found throughout the years that this step saves a lot of time, energy, money, because I'm not showing you dozens of properties before we find the one that you like. Right? If you tell me that you're looking for a 2-bedroom or a 3-bedroom house, I'm not going to show you 2-bedroom houses. If you tell me that you have a dog, I'm not going to show you properties where that are in communities where they don't allow pets. So things like that. The first question that I usually ask whenever I meet in that buyer consultation is primary contact and the best time and method to reach you, right? If it's a couple, I want to have the full contact information for both individuals, because it could happen where we find a property, we discuss it, we want to put an offer, and I'm ready to have the property or the contract ready. I'm trying to reach the buyer. For some reason, they're busy. Well, if I have the second or third person that is in the buying process contacts information, then I can reach out in the case of an emergency. What's prompting your move? Let's talk about motivation. Why do you want to buy a property? Many people buy for many circumstances. It could be first-time home buyers. It could be your second property. It could be a vacational home. It could be because you want to change school zones for your kids. There's so many motivators. You're downsizing, you're upsizing, and I want to know why you're buying. What is the motivator? Because from that answer will tell me and will help me determine what's best for you. The third question will be, what price range are you looking for? Let's talk about numbers, which is one of the most important things, right? If you're coming to purchase a property, you're either buying cash or you're financing. If it's cash, I want to know your limits, right? What is the most that you're willing to pay for the property? Not looking to maximize that limit, but to understand what is that final number that you're not willing to go over that, right? And then if you're financing, how much are you pre-approved for, right? What is your monthly payments? Have you discussed that with a loan officer, a professional in the area? Have you gotten pre-approved? We're going to talk about those things. What's the very max in the monthly payment you're willing to go? Again, not looking to maximize that number, but to know the limits so I don't show you properties that you get excited with and then get disappointed later because it's outside of the numbers that you're looking to be. The fourth question will be, when do you need to be in your new home? We want to tackle time. We want to be specific about timing. Why? Because if you're a first-time home buyer, it's more than likely then you're already renting at a place where you have a contract, let's say. You have a lease, a current lease. I want to know, when does that lease end? Because if you break, as you probably know, if you break a lease early, you get penalties. Are you willing to pay that penalty? Are you looking too much in advance? Are you very close to the ending of that lease? Do we have enough time to get under contract, find you a property, and close before that lease ends so you're not homeless in the meantime? We want to know exactly the timing, so make sure that we're not rushing and putting you in a very uncomfortable position. The fifth question will be, if we found a home today that met all your needs and as many of your wants as possible, would you make an offer? I want to know how ready you are, if you have put the thought and the energy on making the decision that you are buying a property. Why? Because if my job is to find you one, and I want you to understand that I'm very good at what I do, and if I get that property for you tomorrow, I want to make sure that you are ready to pull the trigger. I know that it's a nerve-wracking decision, especially if you're a first-time home buyer, but I want to make sure that you're ready, because I am ready if I'm sitting down in front of you, taking this time to get you exactly what you're looking for. The sixth question, how long have you been looking for? Have you been checking properties for yourself? What have you discovered, right? Because I want to know, what have you been going through in that self-discovery process? Whenever you make the decision, people get excited, start looking around. And I want to know more about what have you found that you like and what you don't like. Seventh question will be, are you working with an agent? Maybe you don't know this because this is not what you do on a daily basis, but to be able to help you purchase a house as a real estate agent, I need to have an exclusive buyer's agreement with you. You cannot be working with multiple agents at the same time. It doesn't work that way. We need to sign. If you want me to help you, which you ultimately have the choice on the real estate agent that you want to use, we need to sign an exclusive buyer's agreement where I commit to find you a property and you commit to working with me. And those terms we can talk about. They're not set in stone. We can change it if by any chance you're not comfortable with my services, and things can change later on. But to be able to help you go out and look for properties legally and morally, I need to have that buyer's agreement with you. Do you own other properties? That's important because I want to know how knowledgeable you are in the process, and financially how that can impact you in the purchase of this new house as well. Maybe you have a rental property, maybe you own the property where you live currently, and I want to know those details for logistic purpose as well. Question number 9, is there anyone else involved in the buying decision? This is very good and important because I want to make sure that I'm speaking to all the decision makers, right? Because I want everybody that is a decision maker to be involved in the decision, obviously, so everybody's on the same page, right? Sometimes husband wants one thing, wife wants one thing. I want to make sure that they're very aware and they get to talk to each other. You'll be surprised on what are those things that they want to compromise with or they both are looking for. So I want to talk to the decision maker. So if by any chance, whenever we connect, you're the only decision maker in the room and the other person is not there, I want to connect and find a time, ideally, where both of you are there together. Another important question, number 10, will be, what do you like about your current home? This question is key because sometimes, again, you don't do this every day, I do. Sometimes you cannot come up with what are you looking for, but if I'm able to ask you this question and you can probably point out very quick, very fast, what you like about your current place, and that will help you brainstorm and come up with fast ideas to give me more details on what you like, so we make sure that we get that in your next property. Another good question is, what don't you like of the current home? But in the question that can put you to think, so that way, whatever those things that you mentioned, we make sure that the next property you purchase do not have those things. Question number 12, how many people will be living in the household? What are their names? I want to know how many people, because that makes a huge difference. What are going to be using the rooms for? You might be saying, oh, I want a 4-bedroom house. Well, how many people will living in the house? Me, my wife, and my son. Okay, I imagine you and your wife will sleep in one room. Your son can sleep in the other. I'm just curious, Mr. Buyer, what are you going to be using the other 2 rooms for? So that will open up more conversations. Oh, I'm a photographer. I want a studio. I work from home. I just want a guest bedroom. So that way I know more about yourself and your plans and your goals. Question number 13. Do you have pets? Very important question. Some properties are located in communities where they have restrictions when it comes to pets. Certain way, certain breed. Communities where they don't allow pets at all. So imagine if I were to jump in a car and I don't ask you that questions. We go, see the property, you get excited, you like it, to then find out that that community has pet restrictions that don't align with your type of pet. Very, very important question. What location do you prefer? That's question number 14. Let's talk about areas. You might tell me, well, I'm open to anything. Well, we have to narrow it down. I specialize in the area of South Florida. South Florida is very big. It's a tri-county area. Dade County, Broward, and Palm Beach. So it's geographically is very big, right? So being open to anything can put you 2 hours away from your work. So that's one way that we can narrow it down. How far do you want to be from your work? How far do you want to be from your school, your kids' schools? So those things can also pinpoint what areas will be more convenient for you. Are there any secondary locations that you consider? We want to make sure that we open to anything because sometimes there's a specific city that you want, but maybe it's not in your price point. So maybe the city next door might be a better fit for you as far as the budget, right? Are schools important? Not for everybody. If you don't have kids, might not be important. If you're planning to have kids, might be important for you. That's a thing that normally buyers have to find out and research themselves so they know what type of schooling are good or they're looking for when it comes to their kids. Are kids important for you? But if they're not, then we don't consider the surrounding schools, right? But how many bedrooms and bathrooms are you looking for? Very important question. Again, what are going to be the usage for those areas? 18, approximately what size homes are you looking for? This is a tricky one because usually you don't know, people don't even know the square footage of their house, but they kind of know the layout that they're looking for. But sometimes I like in that buyer consultation to be visually picture how big for them is big. They might tell you, no, I like small, I would like a small yard. What? Well, maybe what's small for you is not small for me. How big, Mr. Seller or Mr. Buyer? And I can show you pictures. Is that big for you? Is that small for you? You'd be surprised the difference and the perception that you have and I have of something what we call big or small. So very important questions when it comes to size of the house and also the yard, which is bring me to question 19. What size yard are you looking for? And what are going to be the usage, right? Is that a must-have? Question number 20. Do you want a pool or a hot tub? Some people, believe it or not, might not want a pool at all. They don't want to carry the burden of the maintenance that entails. But is that a must-have too? Maybe you have kids and your dream house have a pool and it's non-negotiable. You'd rather negotiate anything else inside the house, but you need to have a pool. So that's a very important question. How big the pool, right? What is comfortable maintenance fee for you? Question 21. That's only the event that you're open to purchasing a homeowners association. But if you're buying a single family, let's say, not in a homeowners association, then there's no fee to pay. But if you're open to it, I want to know what's the max that you're willing to pay as a maintenance fee. If you're buying a condo, you're obligated to pay a maintenance fee. Now, I want to know how high. 1, for your personal liking, and 2, if you're purchasing with a loan, those numbers also are part of the monthly payment that the lender is going to consider. So very important question. Question number 22, almost there. Are you looking for a home with a garage? Why? To storage cars, to storage things, just for fun? Is it negotiable? Do you want a garage? Is it necessary? Is it a deal breaker? For some people, it is. They rather have their garage than have a full bedroom for themselves, believe it or not. You might be a a car enthusiastic and you repair cars and you need that space. Maybe you do it for work, whatever it is. You have a studio, whatever it is. And we want to know how important that space is for you, and for everybody it's different. And final question, and very important and very open, anything else that I need to know, tell me. This is the time where we went over all these questions and I want to know as much information as possible. And I leave this open question at the end because during this process, there might be one or two things that you see just going in your head and you haven't tell me yet. I want to know it. So this buyer consultation that I set up usually takes anywhere between 1 or maybe 2 hours sometimes. I've been with buyer 3 hours because it's a self-discovery process. If you don't do this every day, obviously you don't know how to pinpoint and how to explain and express. Sometimes you don't even know what's out there, and you're discovering what you like and you don't if it's your first time buying. So make sure that you share as much information as possible with your agent. That's the way that I work, and hopefully we get to work together. So if you're looking to purchase a house in South Florida, reach out to me. I'm your guy and looking forward to helping you.